5 minors confirmed dead in Ibadan stampede as Oni's ex-wife arrested. Gunshots fired as soldiers attacked Wike's men while trying to demolish building in Abuja. Wike revokes FCT lands of Buhari, Abbas, Akumi and others, and the federal government warns of pepper law says a Dole governor has no right to suspend local government chairman. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The world news at 6 begins with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying he wants to appeal to U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on a human level to win him over against the Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Welcome, Donald. What can I say? Zelensky said when asked by journalists what emotion is inaugurated next month. He said, and I quote, "I think that President Trump is a strong man and I want very much to have him on our side." End quote. Trump reclaims the White House on January 20, having vowed to cut a quick deal to end the war in Ukraine. Kyiv and its European allies fear the volatile Republican could cut support for Ukraine's military and force Zelensky to make painful concessions to Russia. The Ukrainian leader insisted that Kyiv wanted to finish the war, but he warned that he was against a ceasefire being imposed that would just allow Moscow to rearm and attack again. Zelensky has been calling for firm security guarantees from NATO and more weaponry to ensure that any potential peace deal is sustainable. Meanwhile, back home in Nigeria, the Niger State Police Command has disclosed the arrest of the ex-queen of the Oni of Ife, Queen Naomi Shilekola, the principal of Islamic High School Ibadan Fasasi Abdullahi, and 6 others in connection to the death of some children during a stampede at a fun fair in Ibadan, the state capital. On Wednesday, the ex-queen was named as the main sponsor of the event. The number of children who have died from the stampede has risen to 35, while 6 others are critically injured, according to a statement issued today by the state Police Public Relations Officer Adewale Osifeso. The event, which was held at Islamic High School Bashoru Ibadan, was made available to 5,000 children, but over 7,500 reportedly showed up. The police has reassured residents around the access of high-level patrols and the presence of its operatives to prevent hoodlums from taking advantage of the unfortunate situation. There was pandemonium in Abuja after soldiers allegedly following the directives of an army general assaulted development control officials in Sabon Lugbe area who were present to dismantle certain structures in the vicinity. VP News gathered that the officials were acting on the order of the FCT minister in some week. VP News also gathered that the officials on Wednesday, December 18, targeted the fence of a property located on plot 416, reportedly owned by a major general. However, upon their arrival, soldiers who were in the vehicle with obscured license plate obstructed the exit from the property, thereby preventing the enforcement team from leaving the premises while issuing threats that someone would die that day. Gunshots were reportedly fired as the soldiers made efforts to scare away the development officials. Meanwhile, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Nyesom Wike has revoked lands belonging to former President Muhammadu Buhari, the Speaker of the House of Reps Tajuddin Abbas, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation George Akume. Also, 759 other prominent figures and organizations in Maitama 2, Abuja, were also affected by the revocation, which was for non-payment of Certificate of Occupancy, CFO. This was contained in a publication by the FCT administration and made available to journalists by the special advisor to the FCT minister, Lere Olayinka. In a separate publication, the minister also threatened to revoke lands belonging to the minority leader of the House of Reps, Kingsley Chinda, former president of the Senate, Yochia Yu, and Ame Ebute, the chief whip of the Senate, Tahir Manguno, and 610 others for outstanding fees owed to the FCT administration for Certificate of Occupancy not paid within 2 weeks. This revocation by the minister comes months after he made several pleas to residents of the FCT, particularly those residing in hybrid areas of the nation's capital, to pay outstanding fees owed to the FCTA or risk revocation of their lands. The AGF stated that the autonomy of local governments as enshrined in the Nigerian constitution, that any actions infringing on their independence are unconstitutional. The federal government, through the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF Lateef Fagbemi, has declared that governors lack the constitutional authority to suspend or remove local government chairmen from office. Fagbemi made the declaration while addressing journalists on Wednesday. His comments were in response to questions about the recent actions of the Edo Governor Monday Okwewolo, who suspended local government chairmen in the state. He explained that the governors do not have the right to suspend or remove duly elected local government chairmen, as such actions are in violation of the principles of democracy and the rule of law. Meanwhile, a suspected explosion has resulted in the death of one farmer, Dauda Haruna, and left 4 others, including 3 siblings, severely injured in Basa Community, Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The incident occurred this morning while the victims were heading for the farm to harvest crops between Basa and Guadara communities. According to residents, the first explosion occurred when 3 siblings were riding a motorcycle. The second explosion occurred when 2 rescuers stepped in a bomb while trying to help, killing 2 people and 1 of the rescuers. Enoch, the father of the 3 children, shared the tragic incident with journalists at the IBB Specialist Hospital in Mina, the Niger State capital, where the victims were receiving treatment. Explained that this was the second bomb explosion in Basa this month. As of right now, SP Osiu Abiodun, the spokesperson for the Niger State Police Command, has confirmed he would investigate the incident but had not yet provided further details. You're currently listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a short break and return with the news analysis segment. Just stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. You're still listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Now joining me to discuss issues on the World News at 6 this evening, I have joining me Elder Manford Igbe Carlo. He is a political, social and national affairs analyst. Welcome, Elder, and good evening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you here. I want to begin with the tragic development where 35 children have now been confirmed dead in a stampede that occurred in Ibadan at a fun fair organized for the children, where about 5,000 people were expected, but over 7,000 showed up, causing a stampede. And some of the organizers of the event have been arrested, particularly the ex-wife of the Oni of Ife, Queen Naomi. Right? Do you think that apart from just probing these people and investigating the remote and immediate causes of these stampede, that there is an underlying factor of hunger that the political elite and the government seem to be overlooking? The hunger that led people to go and camp in that place even a night before the event was supposed to start, because they wanted to collect 5,000 naira and some other food items.
It's a pity what we are seeing in Nigeria. Those children died because of hunger and poverty, that the parents cannot provide food for them. And you can see that it is very, very glaring that the country is going down because of hardship. If not because of the hardship in the country, those children wouldn't have died like that. Some of them wouldn't have gone to that place. Even in that 5,000, if people were not hungry, children are not hungry, people that will be there will not be up to 500 or 400 people, because they have been fed well. I don't see the reason why people will be on authority and the only legacy they want to put up is to suffer the masses of the country because of they are in the throne or because of them being in government. I don't see a reason why. If there is adequate food in a country, 7,000 children will leave their house to go and take food from somebody's place. It has not happened before. It's only in Nigeria that some of these things is happening. And people will be looking at it, very simple, because it's not their children. And those that were supposed to speak up to the government so that the government can lessen this suffering that parents are going through, they will keep silent. And because all of them are rich, they don't consign. Government was supposed to be for the people, to take care of the people in the country. But we are seeing our own very, very differently, that the government take care of the rich and only the rich. The poor begin to look for food. How do people look at us? How would other countries be looking at us that a fun fair was set for people to come and eat food and people die?
Elder Manford, while we're at that,
fuel happened in the north. People went to scoop fuel because of hungry. They are hungry how to eat, and a lot of people died. And people did not even, the government did not see it as anything. They did not see that something happened in the country. So it's a pity the way we are seeing ourselves in this side of the country.
Elder Manford,
in short, it's a pity thing to us.
Just before we proceed, right? Actually, VOP News went on the streets of Lagos. I wanted you to take a listen to this, right? And also the listeners as well.
We don't know when this suffering will stop.
All right. While we're at that, right? We went on the streets of Lagos to ask Lagosians and Nigerians if they're looking forward. I can hear you, Elder Manford. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me, Elder Manford? I can hear you. Are you there? Are you there, sir?
I'm here.
All right, then. So I want to play an insert, right, that we got from Lagosians, people on the street of Lagos, when we asked them if they're looking forward to celebrating Christmas, how they would be celebrating this Christmas in the face of rising inflation and the high price of food items and the economic challenges facing the country. So I want to take a listen to this.
This year Christmas is what? Inside suffer. And when you now look at Christmas, Christmas is not as like before, where you can take, if you go 50,000 naira, you go to market and do shopping. Okay, if you go 50,000 naira now, pull it back, you cannot buy anything meaningful. So there's nothing too special about this Christmas. For me and my family, anything we see, we do it.
We've been spending it for long, we are going to spend it again. But it is only that the way the situation is going now, you have to cut your coat according to your pocket, not according to your size. That's just it. You cannot buy chicken, go and cut frozen. That's just it about the Christmas.
As a Christian, Christmas is a time of expectation of our Messiah, the birth of our Jesus Christ. Christmas is not about eating and drinking. It's not about focusing on the Redeemer who are going to save you.
Now, this year Christmas will be the best. Why? Is because I'm alive. Last year, so many people were no more. They were nowhere to be found. You know, like as I'm alive now, so I have the privilege to celebrate my Christmas in a unique way.
Elder Manford, we have people who are riding on hope and the fact that they would have to cut down their budget for Christmas celebrations this year.
I can, no matter I did not hear what the tape was saying, but I can tell you the things of people in the country. The feelings in the country is a hopeless one. Where is the budget self that you will cut? Where is the budget you will cut? A family of 4, even 10,000 cannot reach them to eat in a day. A family of 4. So where is the budget that you are going to cut? Things are very hard. Everybody is just believing that the day will come and go with. Some are not eating, some are eating, some eat half. So where is the budget to cut if there is any budget? It's a pity the way we have seen ourselves because this has never been happening in our country. Just from 2015 till now, everybody has become a poor man. If you are not poor, you are rich. If you are not rich, you are poor. There is no middle class again in the country. So there is no budget to cut. That is it. If you try to say you want to travel, somebody that is going for travel will be holding only transport over 150,000 naira for transport. You have not buy what you are going to use. So where is the budget to cut? So I don't see anything budget to cut there.
All right.
It's a pitiable condition.
Elder Manford, let's go to Abuja, where Wike has revoked certain lands in the FCT that actually belongs to former President Muhammadu Buhari, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, the House of Reps Speaker, that's Tajuddin Abbas, and others, over 760 lands belonging to different prominent individuals in the country. Now, there's a school of thought that's of the opinion that this is a smokescreen to make it look as if he can revoke lands that belong to these political entities that are higher up in the hierarchy of power right here in the country, how much more others that have been complaining of demolitions and revocations. Now, this revocation is happening because they did not pay for their C of O. So, do you also believe that this is kind of a smokescreen to cover the fact that he is grabbing lands of citizens as they have accused him of, right? Or is this, do you believe that he actually revoked their lands because of they did not pay for their C of O?
Mr. Minister should take it easy because the way Mr. Minister is going, yes, if somebody is owing and you are looking for how to collect tax, why not go straight and say, give him time from now to three months for him to gather himself and come and pay you? Why is he grabbing people's land in the name of their CEO, they have not renewed it? You know, if people begin to use strategy to collect people's property, I have said it before in one of these programs that Mr. Minister is going to create a lot of problems in Nigeria. If care is not taken, he has 2 years or 6 years to go. There will be a lot of litigations that people will collect their land back because that land has been issued to them all along before Mr. Minister started being his minister.
Elderman, for this time around, they are prominent individuals, right? Including former President Muhammadu Buhari. Like, Wike actually revoked his land because he didn't pay for his C of O. So right now, it's not just about ordinary Nigerians.
At the time, if you look at it to his politics, you know, there's a way he do his hatred, his malice. There's a way he do it, and if he's doing his malice, he will now be doing it as if he's doing it for the government. If you look at it, there is no, all along Wike was the governor. He did not go to any first meeting till he finished his tenure. So some of those things might be malice, but people would not see it that way. For him to have the tenacity to revoke the former president C of O that they have not paid, look at it very well. It might not be what we are seeing that is happening is what is happening. It might be malice because him and Buhari wouldn't have been in good times before. Then he will now use it to come after the man or pay him. But he's going to jam a lot of rocks that they will not believe, because some of them will want to show him that since you have power too, we have been in power. That is how whatever Mr. Minister is going to see. But I've never seen a lawless country like Nigeria that things are not done rightly. He's supposed to look into some of these things as Mr. Minister. Yes, he's saying it's government land. But some of these people have been in government too. Are we saying that all of them are fools after being in government? They don't know exactly that this
Elder Manford, yes. Revocation is not the only thing that's happening, right? Demolitions are also occurring. And earlier today, we're getting reports that there was pandemonium in Abuja after some soldiers who were allegedly following the directives of an army general. They actually attacked, or do we say assaulted, some people who were development officials in the Sabon-Lugbe area. These people were coming in for a demolition. Now, the reports are saying that these soldiers actually shot at the tires of the caterpillar that was coming, the caterpillar operator, they shot at the tires of the caterpillar that was coming to demolish that building. Right, so now you have a situation where this is the house of a major general, and soldiers have to come down and protect the premises. What if there have been an accidental discharge and someone actually lost their lives, or someone was injured during this altercation? Is this what we'll say that this is what we can send them to do? Right there, the major general whose house was to be demolished, Wike has said over and over again that these lands are on government property. Is there any other better way to go about it rather than this way?
The way Mr. Minister is going out with this is revocation and demolition. Mr. Minister is going to jam rock. There is no how he will not do it. Because one, he is just a civilian. He's just a civilian, but a minister. And going to destroy a general house, they will look at him. They will look at him as a civilian. If care is not taken, he's going to see himself. They will not respect him since he's not respecting anybody. Yes, he might be claiming that it's government land, but he's going to see fire to fire. That is just that. Because if those army people looked at him and shot the tire of that caterpillar,
they actually even beat up the caterpillar operator. Reportedly beat up the caterpillar operator.
If they shoot the caterpillar operator, the tire of the caterpillar operator, who tell him that if he's a human being that they see, they will not shoot him. So Mr. Minister should take it easy and dialogue with people that have owned their land for a long time. That is just what I'm trying to put up. The only thing he will do is to tell them and discuss with them. Then they will now know what to do. If he's to pay him the money, they will pay him. But if he's carrying the hat of grabbing people's land, Mr. Minister is not going to see it so easily. That is just that.
But in this case now where someone has been beat up, people have been attacked, shots have been fired, right? Do you think that this will actually send a signal to Wike to slow it down with a spate of demolitions in the FCT?
More signal will come because Mr. Minister have told us that nobody is going to blackmail him. Nobody is going. He's seeing it as blackmail. He's not seeing it as a minister of a capital. He's seeing it as his personal property. His personal property, and which is not. More of it is going to come because they will look at him as a civilian and gang up against him. And if it's not taken, it's him that is going to receive the shot. That is how they will look at him.
All right. Just before we go, I want to go to Edo State, where the federal government, through the Attorney General of the Federation, has warned Governor Monday Okpebolo of Edo State, declaring that governors do not have the constitutional authority to suspend or remove local government chairmen from office. Now, you do recall that Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo removed some of the local government chairmen, suspended them for about 3 months due to certain reasons. And now the AGF has come out to say that you cannot do that. Don't you think that the governor himself knows that he does not have the powers to do that, and yet he went ahead to declare them suspended?
It's a pity the way we have seen ourselves in Nigeria that some of our leaders want people to obey the law, but they themselves don't want to obey the law. I think Governor Okpebolo were here in Nigeria when the Supreme Court has made it clear that local government should be elected before their money will come to them. And if such local government has been there, why is he going to look or begin to ask them questions or begin to remove them? Why? Before you know, 3 years will reach, then he will begin to put people he wants to be there. But because of that money, that is why many of them is just going into governance and begin to believe that they want to do well to us. He knows exactly that he is looking for a trouble that they will fight him, and that is how it is, because he's a governor does not mean that other people will look at him. Local government has been clamoring for their autonomy,
and they did get it earlier on in the year. You would think that seeing that, right, and knowing that only council chairmen have the prerogative to be able to remove their local government chairman, why did Governor Monday Okpebolo go ahead to try to remove the local government chairman, knowing that it wasn't in his place to do so?
Zealousness in people and not looking at our laws. They don't want to respect our constitution. The constitution that have put them there, that they have sworn to protect and guide, they will not do it because of their personal advances that they want to do. You know, all of them will be looking at that money. They will not want to look at governance and look at our constitution and know how to face it. They will begin to disobey the law, and if another person disobeys, they will go after the person, which is not good. What the Okpebolo is doing is wrong, and the Supreme Court has made it clear. So he was supposed to respect the Constitution, respect the Supreme Court. And that is the final, because he is having a case that is still going to go to Supreme Court. So why is he behaving as if he's the Almighty in Edo State? It's not done that way. It's not the way he's looking at it. The Constitution have made it clear. He should go clear out of that. Even the state assembly to begin to query those people. It's just because they have taken all those powers from the people. We know the people that were supposed to be querying the local government, but all of them has become the boy of the governor. So that is how Nigeria is. But if things are okay, the councillors are there. If there is anything the local government chairman have done, the councillors are there to correct them, not the state house. But what do we do? Because the National Assembly have refused to do the needful. Check all those laws that is going to bring problem and solve it before all these things that are coming up. But what do we do in Nigeria? That is the way we see ourselves.
All right, Elder, just before you go, right, these people were removed because after a letter by Governor Monday Okpebolo, he complained that the local government chairman, they failed to submit their council's financial records as the governor had demanded, right, to the House of Assembly of the Edo State House of Assembly. So the governor was angry about that, says their behavior amounts to insubordination and gross misconduct. And so he's told the House to look into the matter and had them suspended for 2 months. This is a governor whom the very first day he came into office, less than 48 hours later, he was probing his predecessor. He's asked them to return government properties, vehicles and all in their possession. Would you say that the Governor Monday Okpebolo is trying to do something right, or is this a government, or would we call it vengeance and vendetta?
We'll call it vengeance. When Okpebolo came in, President Tinubu did not ask him to submit whatsoever he has been in the office for a long time. He has not asked him to submit it. So why is he asking the local government to submit their own? Is he him that is paying them? Their money is coming from the fact. The only thing there is to write to EFCC. If there is anything that is seen that is wrong, you write to the EFCC. So why is he asking them to submit? Have Tinubu asked him to submit his own? Because all of them have their revenue from the park, and that is how it works. The Supreme Court has made it clear. But it's, because I will say it clear the way I see it, because they are from PDP. If they were APC people, would he look at them? So because they are PDP people, he cannot work with them. So you see what you just, if you read it very well along the line, you will see exactly that is just the problem, because they are PDP and he is APC. That is just that.
Thank you so much, Elder Manford, for joining me on the World News at 6 this evening. I really appreciate your presence and your analysis. Thank you.
You are welcome.
You have been listening to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. That was Elder Manford, and we've been discussing issues in the news this evening. Now, just before we wrap up, we'll take a look at the top stories again. You heard that Zelensky seeking to win Trump to Ukraine's side. 35 miners confirmed dead in Ibadan stampede as Oni's ex-wife is arrested. The gunshots fired as soldiers attack Wike's men while trying to demolish building in Abuja. Wike revokes FCT lands of Buhari, Abbas, Akumi and others, and the federal government warns Okpebolo, says Edo State governor has no right to suspend local government chairman. And that is a wrap on the World News at 6. My name is Chioma Innocent. Please follow our social media handles at VOP903 FM. For coverage of your live events and brand news mentioned on our news bulletins, do send a mail to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good evening and thank you for listening.